What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, bigboyfactsjonnytv, representing the KFG crew and KFG Kings. Tonight, I'll go over my WWE Smackdown review on highlights. So, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on post notification when I premiere a brand new video or go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And let's go over Smackdown. Now, Smackdown was a good show. I give it a 10. It says we go to then, now, forever together. The WWE video leads us into the show. The fireworks goes off and Michael Cole welcomes us to the 1000.200th episode of SmackDown. Pac-Man Affy mentions he was 11 years old for the first SmackDown. Ronda Rousey walks by the commentators and get in the ring to a big ovation. They shut that she supposed to be suspended. Ronda Rousey wants the SmackDown music cut. She gets a mixed reception in Canada. Last week she paid her fine and then some so tonight. She's not leaving. Ronda Rousey calls out WWE official Adam Pearce to lift her suspension. WWE official Adam Pearce comes out with security by his side. Adam Pearce says she cannot demand to have the suspension lifted or hijack the show. Besides, lifting suspension is above his pay grade. She asks what isn't above his pay grade. Adam Pearce asks her respectfully to leave the ring peacefully. Ronda Rousey says she chose to leave peacefully last week. Hey, we want Ronda chat pick up. Ronda Rousey warns her not to make her choose violence. Security makes their way to the ring. Two men get in the ring, and she punches and kicks them out. Ronda Rousey throws one. Two others get in, and she easily handles them. Ronda Rousey grabs the one man's arm and locks eyes with Adam Pearce before applying the armbar. The man separately taps out. Two police officers, one male and one female, then come out to the ring. Adam Pearce tries to talk some sense into her. Ronda Rousey wiggily gives her hands and they handcuff her. The police escorted Ronda Rousey to the back. We go backstage to see the police escort Ronda Rousey in the car. She talks trash to Adam Pearce the entire way. Ronda Rousey fiercely looks out for the window. As the police car drives off, a huge black SUV drives into the arena. Undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns steps out of it. The crowd roars in approval. He'll have a face-to-face confrontation with Drew McIntyre later tonight. Alright, so we go to commercial break. Later tonight, Sheamus, Madcap Moss, Happy Corbin, Ricochet, and Sami Zayn will compete in a fatal 5-way match to determine who will face Gunther for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. We see Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky from Monday Night Raw come through the crowd and sit behind the commentary table. So we get a video package of Toxic Attraction Sizzle Reel. Okay. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament first round match. Natalya and Sonya Deville versus Toxic Attraction Gigi Dolan and Jessie J. Now I'm gonna say this was a good match. Natalya starts against Gigi. Natalya quickly takes her down and gives a clean break. Dylan kicks Natalya and wrenches the arm. Natalya rolls through and kip up, but Gigi Dylan takes her down by the hair. Gigi Dylan taunts the crowd, so Natalya rolls her up for a 2 count. Natalya stares at Bayley before tagging in Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville rolls up Gigi Dolan for a 1 count. Gigi Dolan whips her off, but Sonya Deville shoulder blocks her down. Sonya Deville hits the ropes, but Gigi Dolan leapfrogs her. Sonya Deville spears Gigi Dolan and hits a jackknife pin for a 2 count. Gigi Dolan rocks her with a right hand and goes for the Hurricanrana, but Sonya Deville counters. They botch the counter and struggles a moment. JC Jane tags in and takes Sonya Deville down for a 1 count. Sonya Deville bounce Jane off the top turnbuckle a bunch of times before kicking away at her. Sonya Deville charges, but she hits the ring post shoulder first when Jane moves. Sonya Deville falls to the floor, falls to the floor. So Jane hits a cannonball off the apron. Jane avoids a blindside from Natalia, and Gigi Dolan kicks her in the face. Toxic Attraction then whips Natalia into the steel steps. So we go to commercial break. We come back from the break to see Gigi Dillon applying a bow and arrow stretch to Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville rolls through and picks up a 2 count. Gigi Dillon whips her to the corner and tags Jane in. Gigi Dillon whips Jane into Sonya Deville. Jane then sends Gigi Dillon into Sonya Deville in the corner before hitting a cannonball. Jane covers for a 2 count. Jane sends Sonya Deville to the corner, but Sonya Deville boots her back. Sonya Deville elbows Dillon down. Jane quickly fights back and takes Sonya Deville down. Jane goes for a sharpshooter to mock Natalia and the Hearts to a greater extent, but Sonya Deville fights it. Natalia tags into a big reception and hits Jane with a side leg sweep. Natalia hits a pair of snap suplexes before whipping her to the corner. Jane elbows her back, but Natalia quickly comes back with the German suplex. Natalia brings Jane to the center of the ring and goes for a sharpshooter. Michael Cole shouts it's shades of 1997. Jane fights her off and tags Gigi Dillon in. Gigi Dillon hits Natalia with a nasty clothesline and covers, but Sonya Deville breaks it up. Sonya Deville sends Gigi Dillon out of the ring, so Jane sends her out of the ring. Jane and Sonya Deville brawl before Jane sends her into the barricade in front of Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Jane then big boot Sonya Deville face off. In the ring, Gigi Dillon takes it to Natalia. Gigi Dillon hits the ropes, but Natalia hits a disgust clothesline. Natalia punches her in the corner, but Gigi Dillon elbows her back. Jay Blonde tags in. Natalia takes Gigi Dillon down and applies a sharpshooter. Jane runs in and rolls Natalia up for the win. Toxic Attraction advance. The winner by pinfall, Toxic Attraction. That was a good tag team match. Toxic Attraction advanced to the semifinals of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship tournament against Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah. All right, let's move on. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre go face to face later tonight. Sami Zayn is walking backstage and is in front of Roman Reigns' locker room. Someone tells Sami Zayn that Roman Reigns wants to see him. Sami Zayn looks surprised and cautiously knocks on the door. Sami Zayn opens it and Roman Reigns is sitting on a couch. Roman Reigns asks him how's it going. Sami Zayn starts to complain for a while about how the Usos, especially Jey Uso, have been getting in his face. Sami Zayn says they're ungrateful before stopping him. Roman Reigns says that Sami Zayn is right. Jey doesn't appreciate anything. Roman Reigns loves him, but Sami Zayn should be talking to Jimmy. Roman Reigns is going to correct this and tell Sami Zayn to stay seated. Roman Reigns' phone rings, and it's Jey Uso. Roman Reigns tells Sami Zayn to answer it. Sami Zayn answers it and tries to calm Jey Uso down. Sami Zayn says Jey is screaming and says there was a trouble at the border. The Usos aren't going to be here tonight. Sami Zayn says that he's still here. Roman Reigns says the Intercontinental Championship will look good in the bloodline. Roman Reigns tells Sami Zayn to get at it. Sami Zayn says should do this more. Roman Reigns then stops him and asks if he's still cool with Kevin Owens. Sami says he is. Roman Reigns tells Sami Zayn to let Kevin Owens know that he doesn't owe anybody anything ever. Sami Zayn says he'll relay the message to him. Sami Zayn goofily gets fired up and walks off. Alright, so we go to commercial break. This Monday on Raw, Edge will battle Damian Priest in Toronto. Dakota Kai and Io Sky will also battle Alexa Bliss and Asuka to the semifinals of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus will also appear. Can't wait for Monday Night Raw. Okay, let's move on. A video package. Gunther defeats Shinsuke Nakamura to retain the WWE Intercontinental Championship last week on SmackDown. Sheamus, Madcap Moss, Happy Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Ricochet will battle in a fatal five-way, with the winner facing Gunther for the title at WWE Clash at the Castle. Alright, so we get the maximum male models are in the ring as they begin taking hit. Row interrupts them. Hero gets in the ring. Max Dupree says there are not maximum models material, so Hit Row attacks and knocks them out of the ring. Ashante, Adonis, B-Fab, and Top Dog begin rapping about their return. Maxine Dupree looks into what they're doing, which upsets Max. So we get, Fatal 5-Way is next. Commercial break. Karrion Kross and Scarlett are backstage. Karrion Kross says Drew McIntyre used to be the chosen one. What happened? He's on. He is the chosen one, like Roman Reigns. When he failed, they choose someone else. Still, they come back to him. Deep down, McIntyre knows the people were wrong to choose him. The undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns goes face to face with Drew McIntyre later tonight. So we get a fatal 5-way match: Sheamus versus Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin versus Ricochet versus Sami Zayn. This was a good match. Alright, the winner will face Gunther for the WWE Intercontinental Championship at WWE Clash at the Castle. Sami Zayn goes a massive pop coming out to the ring. Ricochet chased Corbin out of the ring. Madcap Moss close on Sheamus and himself over the top rope. The crowd loudly sings OLE to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn goes after Ricochet, and Ricochet takes him down with a Hurricane to boots. Ricochet sets up for a dive, but Corbin runs in and chokeslams him. Everyone breaks up the pin. Sheamus goes after Moss while Sami Zayn beats Corbin down. We go to commercial break. We come back from the break to see Corbin bounce Sami Zayn off the commentary table. Sheamus picks up Ricochet and slams him into the barricade. Corbin whips Sami Zayn into the barricade. Sheamus left thought has an awful bruise on it. Corbin sends Ricochet into the ring. At ringside, Sheamus and Moss brawl. Corbin viciously whips Ricochet into the corner. Sheamus sends Madcap Moss into the barricade and charge, but Moss drops him into the timekeeper's area. Corbin sends Ricochet into the ropes and punches him down. Moss gets in the ring, so Corbin needs him in the corner. Corbin then whips his former partner hard into the corner. Moss collapses in pain. Corbin grabs Ricochet and whips him sternum first into the corner. Madcap Moss punches Corbin back. Corbin reverses a whip and hits in and out and clothesline. As Sami Zayn gets in the ring, Corbin knocks him off. The crowd loudly boos Corbin. The crowd has been doing nothing but chanting for Sami Zayn. Ricochet attacks Corbin and goes for the springboard, but Corbin swats him out of midair. Sheamus gets in the ring and attacks Corbin. Corbin sends him into the corner and hits a back suplex for a 1 count. Ricochet comes back on Corbin with a drop kick. Ricochet then hits Moss with a springboard crossbody block. Ricochet then drop kicks Sami Zayn off the apron to boost. Ricochet hits Corbin with a tornado DDT and follows up with extending shooting star press for a 2 count. Madcap Moss hits the ropes hard and wildly sends Ricochet flying with a shoulder tackle. Madcap Moss stomps and punches Sheamus in the corner and talks some trash. Sheamus punches and clubs Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss has a whip reverse and kicks Sheamus in the corner. Sheamus quickly comes back with an Irish curse backbreaker on Moss. Sami Zayn runs into the ring, and Sheamus hits him with an Irish curse backbreaker. Sheamus' shoulder is cut. His face is blemished, and his leg is really messed up. Sheamus goes over to Moss and hits the 10 beats of the battering. Sheamus sees Corbin on the apron, so he grabs him and pulls his shirt over his head. Sheamus then hits Corbin with 10 beats of the battering. The crowd loudly counts along. Sheamus sends Ricochet to the apron, and he gets fired up for it again. Sheamus hits the 10 beats of the battle on Ricochet now. Sheamus clotheslines to 17 and Ricochet falls lifeless to the floor. Sheamus goes over to Sami Zayn and puts him in the ring. The crowd who was happily counting along with him now boos as he sets Sami Zayn up for the 10 beats of the battering. Sami Zayn snaps him off the top rope to avoid it. Corbin charges, so Sami Zayn pulls the top rope down to get him out. Sami Zayn then hits Sheamus and Corbin with a moon somersault. Sent time to a loud pop. Sami Zayn goes at it with Ricochet. Ricochet hits the ropes, but Sami Zayn hits the Mochoku driver for a near fall. Sami Zayn goes for the Haluba kick, but Moss intercepts him. Sami Zayn fights out and hits Moss with the Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. Sami Zayn cannot believe it. The crowd chants for Sami Zayn and cheers as he goes to the top rope. Corbin goes after him, but Sami Zayn punches him off the top rope. Ricochet scales the ropes, but Sami Zayn fights him off. Sheamus attacks Sami Zayn and sets up for White Noise off the second rope. Sheamus hits White Noise and Sami Zayn rolls out of the ring to recover. Ricochet kicks Sheamus in the back of the neck. Madcap Moss runs in and shoulder Ricochet and Sheamus. Ricochet leaps over a second one. Sheamus wipes out Moss and Ricochet. Corbin runs in and all 4 men in the ring are soon down outside the ring. WWE referees bring Sami Zayn to the back. Sami Zayn is holding his shoulder in pain. So we go to commercial. We return from the break to see Madcap Moss and hit Sheamus with a fallaway slam off the second rope. Madcap Moss takes his time to recover before rolling Sheamus over for a 2 count. Ricochet hits Moss with a springboard moonsault for a near fall. Corbin quickly attacks Ricochet and punches away at him. Corbin sends Ricochet into the ropes, but Ricochet flips through a clothesline. Ricochet pulls the top rope down to get Corbin out of the ring. Ricochet hits Corbin with a springboard and back elbow, but Corbin quickly bounced back with a big boot. Corbin hits Ricochet with the torture rack, neckbreaker for a near fall. Sheamus and Corbin start brawling in the ring. Sheamus slides out of a slam and avoids an avalanche. Sheamus then clotheslines him out of the ring. Madcap Moss rolls Sheamus up for a 2 count. Madcap Moss hits the ropes hard, but Sheamus knees him in the face for a near fall. Sheamus huffing and puffing from this battle. The crowd in Montreal is really into this. Sheamus goes for a bro kick on Moss, but Moss counters into a slam. Ricochet hits Moss with a recoil that sends him out of the ring. Ricochet goes to the top rope and hits Sheamus with a shooting star press. Corbin breaks up the pin. Ricochet flips out of the ends of days and pulls the top rope down to get Corbin out of the ring. All of a sudden, the place comes unglued as Sami Zayn stumbles down to the ring. Sami Zayn is still holding his shoulder. Sami Zayn gets in the ring and hits Ricochet with an explosive suplex into the corner. Sami Zayn signs up Ricochet and hits a haluba kick. Sami Zayn covers, but Corbin pulls him out of the ring. The crowd loudly boos. Corbin whips Sami Zayn into the ring post and gets in the ring. Corbin gets Ricochet to his feet, but Sheamus rocks him with a brogue kick. Sheamus covers Corbin for the win. The winners of the match, Sheamus. That was a good fatal 5-way match. Now it's going to be Sheamus versus Gunther for the WWE Intercontinental Championship at Clash at the Castle. This is going to be a war between Sheamus and Gunther. Take my money to see that match. And that match should be good by itself. But anyway, Sheamus will go to WWE Clash at the Castle to face Gunther for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Alright, let's move on. A video package Drew McIntyre gets fired up for WWE Clash at the Castle. Alright, before I continue, let me mention this. I know that everybody in the wrestling community wants to see Drew McIntyre's old theme song Broken Dreams. I want to see it. Showstopper TV wants to see it. And Tino's Time wants to see it. His old entrance. I was in Tino's Time live stream. So shout out to my boy Tino's Time. So I know Tino's Time is watching this video and agree with me what I just said. But anyway, let's continue. So we go to a video package. The Viking Raiders are in a forest having a Viking funeral for the New Day. They respect the New Day, but their time has passed. They have failed to heed their warnings. So soon it will be the dawn of the new Viking Day they burn a bunch of New Day merchandise while clips of them destroying the New Day are shown. The commentators talk about what they just seen. Shayna Baszler viciously attacks the injured arm of the WWE Smackdown Women's Champion Liv Morgan. Now I'm afraid that Liv Morgan is going to drop the Smackdown Women's Championship to Shayna Baszler. Now I don't want that to happen, but I can just be the first one to see it coming. So I hope Liv Morgan can keep the WWE Smackdown Women's Championship. That's just my prediction. Anyway, Kayla Braxton is asked SmackDown Women's Championship Liv Morgan about competing after that attack. Morgan says she has to be in the ring, competing so she knows where she at. She'll battle Shotzi next. Commercial break. Shotzi is backstage and says that Liv Morgan has made a very big mistake agreeing to this match against her. So we get a non-title SmackDown Women's Championship. Liv Morgan versus Shotzi. This was a decent match. Charles Robinson, one of the all-time great referees, is the official for this match. Charles Robinson is the GOAT, man. That's all I gotta say. And Triple H is doing a good job booking, running the show. Triple H is doing a good job. Triple H is a GOAT, and I love Triple H, man. But anyway, I just have to say it. Anyway, the bell rings and Liv Morgan quickly takes it to Shotzi. Liv Morgan hits a high knee in the corner, but Shotzi fights back with a kick to the head. Shotzi targets the injured left arm of Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan boots her back and hits a missile drop kick. Liv Morgan charge, but Shotzi sidesteps her. Liv Morgan puts her on the apron, but Shotzi kicks her back. Shotzi then gives her a DDT on the apron. That was a brutal spot that Liv Morgan took. So we go to commercial break. We come back from the break to see Shotzi kicking away at Liv Morgan. Shotzi lifts her, but Liv Morgan counters into a perfect pin for a near fall. Shotzi avoids a oblivion and hits a full Nelson suplex for a near fall. They begun brawling before Liv Morgan stops her and hits the oblivion for the win. The winner of the match, Liv Morgan. That match was decent by itself. After the match, Shayna Baszler attacks Liv Morgan from behind, viciously knees her in the face. Shayna Baszler grabs the injured arm and sets it up. Liv Morgan struggles and Shayna Baszler has her dead to rights. Shayna Baszler then stomps and she says she's going to break her arm at Clash at the Castle. The only reason she doesn't do it now is she wants the title. Shayna Baszler teases doing it again and stops before kicking Liv Morgan aside. Shayna Baszler leaves the ring as the crowd loudly boos her. Alright, let's move on. Footage is showing of Ronda Rousey being arrested earlier tonight. The undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns is in the locker room. He gets up for his face to face competition with Drew McIntyre. Elsewhere backstage, Drew McIntyre grabs his leather jacket. McIntyre sees that Karen Cross has left an hourglass in his locker room. McIntyre looks frustrated and walks off. So we go to commercial break. Next week on SmackDown, Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah will battle Toxic Attraction in the semifinals of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. Ricochet will also battle Happy Corbin. Alright, let's move on. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre go face to face. I'm gonna say this segment was, okay for what it was. It was okay for what it was. WWE, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns makes his way to the ring, menace his entire bloodline. Replays are showing the Brock Lesnar giving Paul Heyman an F5 through the commentary table 3 weeks ago. Roman Reigns says, Montreal, acknowledge me. Roman Reigns says he's not here every week, so he has to correct some stupid things he heard. If anyone thinks he's not the face of the company or that they're carrying this company on their backs, Drew McIntyre is lying. There's only one man carrying this company on his back, and that's the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, which is facts. Roman Reigns is carrying SmackDown. Anyway, let me continue. Roman Reigns says he's a man of his word. What he says has substance here. Roman Reigns doesn't have to say anything to McIntyre's face because he's beneath him. Drew McIntyre music hits and he makes his way to the ring wearing a shirt celebrating SmackDown 1200th episode. McIntyre wants to get straight to it since Roman Reigns is not always here. McIntyre will represent the titles the way they deserve. Roman Reigns doesn't deserve to be champion. Roman Reigns is an incredulous at the statement. McIntyre says he had a wise man working for him, Paul Colley and the Usos working for him, Paul Colley. The bloodline protects him. Roman Reigns thinks he's in God mode, but he's just a man. McIntyre sees spirit and concern. Roman Reigns should be. There isn't a man alive that McIntyre cannot cannot care about his bare hands. At Clash at the Castle, he will tear Roman Reigns apart and takes the title. Tonight is a unique night. McIntyre wants to go at it in Montreal. Roman Reigns punches away at McIntyre, but McIntyre quickly fights back and hits an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. McIntyre sets up for a Claymore kick, but he hits Sami Zayn, who ran down and intercepts it. Roman Reigns hits McIntyre with a Superman punch and sets up for a spear. Roman Reigns charged, but McIntyre floors the undisputed WWE Universal Champion with a Claymore kick. McIntyre holds up the titles as the show comes to an end. And SmackDown goes off the air. Like I stated earlier, SmackDown was a good show and I'll give it a 10. But like I mentioned earlier, they need to bring back the broken Drew McIntyre's old theme song called Broken, because it calls Broken Dreams. Let me say this again. Triple H needs to bring back Drew McIntyre's old theme song called Broken Dreams. Triple H, make that happen at Clash at the Castle, please. Not just for me, for everybody within the wrestling community. I want to see it. Tino's Time want to see it, and Showstopper TV and everybody else that's in the wrestling community wants to see Drew McIntyre's own theme song called Broken Dreams, because I enjoyed Drew McIntyre's own theme song Broken Dreams. That was my favorite song right there. But anyway, SmackDown was a good show and I give it a 10. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my WWE Smackdown review and highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below on what are your thoughts on Smackdown, because it was a good show and I give it a 10. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications when I premiere a brand new video or go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And I will see you guys next on my AEW Rampage review and highlights. This your boy, bigboyfactsjonnytv. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and always stay positive. Keep your crew, keep your kings. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang.